Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the Studio Series Gamer. This is number 7. This is Sideswipe. So in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at how you can use his accessories in both modes. We are, of course, going to be comparing him to his original Generation 1 self, the original War for Cybertron Gamer Sideswipe figure, and probably his most recent update as well. And of course, I've got lots of the other gamer figures as well to bring in for you to have a look at the same time. So as I start to just move all these out of the way for now, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel to hit that subscribe button for me now, please. And also to thank In Demand Toys, because that's where I purchased this from. And as you can see, they got into me very safely and quickly, as I say, for the UK, because with this and the same as the concept art Sunstreaker, we seem to have been quite delayed with this particular figure. Right, and I've pre-opened him, ready to get the video going. So let's first and foremost look at the packaging, because I love these, and I really wish that I'd played this game, and if I ever get any more free time, I will probably sit down and have a go at it. There's some brilliant images there of Sideswipe himself on the both sides there. The transformation process, you probably noticed I've already uploaded, just to again to keep the speed of the video relatively quick and not to take too long. Also, we've got the backdrop, even though most people know that I don't particularly I don't really like these, but I still will show it to you anyway. I just don't think they work, and I think I'd rather than put more money into the figure or into accessories, or just take a few, you know, pence off, whatever. Right, let's start off with looking at the alternate mode then. And to be honest, it's really nice, it's clever, it's sleek, it does look really good. It very much would, I suppose, fit neatly as well into the, I suppose, Bumblebee concept art, maybe a version of a Sideswipe figure, because it does look exactly like a Cybertronian vehicle. You know, you can imagine this, as I say, either being yellow to be Sunstreaker, or indeed Bumblebee himself. All wheels are on pins, they go around, no issues whatsoever. This is like a darker grey there, that's the hinge, but whereas this silver seems to pop really, really nicely. It's clever as well that is, of course, his chest, and underneath everything does tuck away really sort of neatly. There's no translucent plastic, and again, I think overall it does look really nice. His accessory is brilliant, and one of the most detailed, I think, accessories from this particular toy line. In all honesty, you can see that there's lots of molding detail in it, and I suppose, you know, you could say that you can see where they've got the idea from the original Generation 1 figure, which is of course the Lamborghini, which is beautiful, and it was so good to get all of these when they were licensed to, before there was any issues. Right, with regards to some, I suppose, current figures, that's industry standard Earthrise Optimus Prime. This one is battered up my original Generation 1 Optimus Prime. More, I suppose, current figures for you. We've got the Jurassic Park Jeep, and then what else have I got knocking around? I haven't really got many in alternate mode, I've got to confess. I've got a Drag Strip, which is a huge deluxe figure, and then nowhere near as big as this, obviously, but nowhere near a Voyager class. There he is next to Starscream. You know, in all honesty, it's the alt mode, although I really like it, it doesn't really grab me. It's all about the robot mode for myself. So we're going to come back right now, and we're going to see him in his robot mode, and again bring the rest of the cast in and some more figures for some more comparisons. So we're back then with him in the robot mode, and although there's a couple of articulation things which I'm going to show you in a second that aren't the greatest, this is definitely the way that I'm going to be displaying him, because I just think he looks spectacular. I really do like it, and I'm going to show you why. But first and foremost, and then for the final time, obviously, let's just put him on his backdrop. And again, it doesn't really fit, and I maybe it's because I'm not the greatest at posing. Now, you can actually do this special gimmick I'm going to show you in a second, but just for now, I think because a lot of these figures do have quite a bit of back kibble, it just makes the stands pretty much useless, to be honest. So that's another reason why I'm not a huge fan of them. But anyway, let's get rid of the stand, and as I say, have a look at the figure. Now, you can see what I mentioned earlier, the fact that some of the greys and the silvers rather are looking reflective, and it does really stand out when you've got it in person. So let's have a look at the head sculpt first and foremost, because that is stunning. And again, you can tell straight away that it's got a brilliant homage from the original Generation 1 toy. So there's the Generation 1 toy. There is the new gamer version, but then of course there is your Earthrise, and again you can see we've got this continuity there with the head sculpt, and indeed how good it does look. The head itself will spin around, it can look up and down as well. The shoulders will go all the way around, and they will come up pretty much to the full T. They're only ever so slightly hindered by there, but nothing too bad. You've then got a swivel just above the bicep. You've then got the flexion. There's no movement in the wrists, unfortunately. There is a waist swivel, but you do have to move the back kibble away, which, to be honest, it's not a real issue. You can do it, you can move it, and it'll spin around. So you'll see the chest piece will come slightly forward off that tab. But you can do it. It's not too bad. Just got to maneuver a few things round. Wow, I've knocked the leg off. Okay, maybe you can't do it all the way around, but I'll keep that in because that's what happened, and that's, as I say, this is going to be a true representation of the figure. So the top half is good. The legs have got, you can see ball and sockets at the top of the hips, which means that they can kick all the way up really high and as far back as they can without getting caught on the kibble. There is a swivel on the thigh, there's a knee bend, and this is where we get to, it's weird. I'm just going to, I suppose, put it out like that. It's weird because it doesn't look too bad there. It doesn't look too bad, but wait till I turn it to the side. Okay, the side covers it up quite well. When you turn it to the back, it looks like he's just on skis. I really don't know what else to say. I mean, luckily enough, there's no tilt. I mean, there's the up and down. The legs, I suppose, do the most of the articulation. Excuse me, but look at that. That looks, we've got to be honest, I don't think that looks great at all. So from the side is worse than the back, I think, because at least at the back you've sort of got these things here. Either way, from the back and from the side, it's not looking the greatest, which is a shame because they've gone to the effort with this to cover up these gaps there. I don't really know. I mean, they've sort of got away with it because, as I say, from this particular angle, you can't tell. And I love the way that looks. Genuinely think that looks great, especially when you consider that this was the original. And again, I really loved this figure. I've done a review on here, and I did genuinely. I think the Fall of Cybertron toy line was one of the main toy lines that got me into buying the newer figures, because I completely didn't buy any of the Unicron trilogy and the RID. It was when I saw the Fall of Cybertron, to be honest. And this figure's okay. I did really like it, but what it was just a remold of Jazz. Sorry, a redeco with a slight retool of Jazz, which again is quite crazy, because usually, you wouldn't put them two together as figures at all. So it's nice that this at the moment is a complete standalone figure. I really sincerely hope that we don't get a Jazz from this mold, because I just don't think that they should. I think, again, they're too big as separate characters, and they do really need their own molds. However, obviously I've got no idea what budget restrictions and stuff like that are, but yeah, I think obviously, oh, Bumblebee just rolled in, so that gives you an idea of how big he is compared to that. I think it looks good, especially with this, and the fact that you can do things with the accessories. You can take the shield off if you want. It doesn't have to go there. You can move the back kibble, fold it out of the way to make him look even more sleeker. It's up to yourself. Obviously, if you haven't got much room on the shelf, you're not going to be able to do that. But again, for people who want to do photos and stuff, it's hidden away. It's not too noticeable. These are the giant tabs which do hold these parts in. And as you probably saw in the transformation video, sometimes they do pop off, but that's easily fixable, no problem whatsoever. Right, so here is the gimmick that they're going with all of the new Game of Fall of Cybertron figures, is you can replace the arm with a gun. If that pops out as well, it just simply pops in there, and then that clips over these as well, holding all that in. So I thought that was quite a cool gimmick, to be fair. And as I say, especially being honest, I hadn't played the game, so that sort of really works. This is also in the notes on TFW 2005 as well, so I'm sure there's somewhere here. That's it. If I spin it around, you can in fact attach that up as well, so it looks like a shield. Again, that's in TF Wiki, to give you an idea of that. So again, I like that. I think it's great. And then you can also as well, you can take this and you can store his arm. I'm sure you can. I think I've read that again on the same website. I could be wrong. Is it that tab or is it this tab? Maybe. I know it's what I read it on TF Wiki, that one of the tabs, maybe it's this, because it's super thick and it's not going in. Let me see. I should have perhaps tried it first, but I've definitely read that you can store his arm somewhere on the back of him. Now, to be honest, I would think that it would be there, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have a quick check before I do the end of the video, just to make sure that, I don't know. I'll have a look at that in a second. Not going to waste any more time doing that. What I need to do now, though, in fact, let's do the side swipes first then. So let's have a look, as I say, Generation 1 side swipe. I've already brought in the Gamer, and then this is, I suppose, one of his latest versions. So the best thing about this is the continuity between them all. You can clearly tell that they're Sideswipe, and I like it for that particular fact. If I move these out of the way, let's bring in, I've pretty much got them all here apart from Megatron, to be honest, just because I don't think he's going to fit on. So here's some more Autobot Deluxe figures. They look all right. Really like this Prime. Yes, he's chunky. Yes, you can see his feet, but in robot mode, I think he looks great. And I am actually really excited for the use of this mold for the new 2-pack as well, because I like it. And the other one's even bigger and even more chunky. So, right. Here's another figure that I like. A lot of people panned it, but I like it because I think it's actually great that we got a new mold. And it's also good that it's quite original looking. I really do think it is. And then finally, I should have brought Megatron in, to be fair. I'll do a group shot video a bit later on maybe. But there you go. See, I like the lineup of these figures. I think they're looking great. And I do think, as I say, I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. Very quickly, G1 and Earthrise. And I'm going to very quickly now double check about the back of the thing with the arm before we finish up. So it appears that you actually can. I just needed to use a bit more force. You can see there it is attached. It's not by the giant tab, it is by the tab on the forearm, but it's not in the instructions, and maybe that's because, you know, you do have to apply quite a bit of pressure to get it in. But the main reason why I like that is because you can have all of his parts on him on display on a shelf, and you haven't got to have, you know, bits in a separate parts box somewhere else. So although it's unintentional, it's a good little thing that it can be done. So I think you can pretty much tell that despite the ankle articulation and how bad the feet look from the back, and when you turn the leg out like that, I still really like it. I still think he looks great, and I still think he's got a brilliant homage to his original self. And as I say, that sort of pose there for me, and this is with all figures, no matter if it's Hasbro, Takara, third party. If you can't, you know, if they look good from the front, which, let's be honest, that's how people are going to be looking at them, that's how most people are going to be photoing them. If they look good from the front, then for me, I'm happy. So there you go. Maybe it's a bit simple, maybe I should be a little bit more critical, but for me, it's absolutely fine. I want you guys, though, to let me know in the comments what you think. And again, most of you maybe already have him because he's been out for quite some time. Let me know in the comments, guys. Take care.